In the darkness of defeat, the light of hope is lost. Beaten down and stopped prematurely again and again, even the greatest can fall and never return to greatness again. But this band of brothers is different. These men are champions. This is Virtus.Pro. Fans around the world adore Virtus.Pro for the aggressive and relentless attacking play they have made famous. They may not have the best tactics, but they always have tactics unique to themselves. They may not have the best skills, but their abilities are signatures few can perfectly replicate. Every great round and match is another chapter in their legacy as the five-man lineup which has played together the longest in Counter-Strike Go, who fiend for the savage destruction of their enemies, advance without mercy and rampage across defenses. Nothing is more overwhelming than the juggernaut of Virtus.Pro rolling onto a bomb site. The chaotic cyclone that is the Polish team in battle form creates an alarming atmosphere of terror in their opponents and charges a lust for annihilation in their worshipping fans. This is that madness. This is that fury. This is the plow. This is Virtus.Pro, and they still roam in the earth in search of another major.
Wow, that's one way to get the goosebumps going. Virtus.Pro are one map up here in our first quarterfinal of day 4 here at ESL One Cologne. Astralis, the story is so close yet so far. And the ever-lovely analysts I have suggested Overpass may have been their best shot. Let's open up the discussion though, the 4-4 train, a map that, actually Duncan, I'll let you describe. Would you just say this is one of, if not the best map for Virtus.Pro as of late?
In the modern era, yeah, this has become their signature map. Like, obviously, they made themselves known with that major run on Mirage, because back then we didn't have Train. Actually, it had been, well, it existed, but it was a different version of the map, and actually not many teams would play it back then. Sure. But the key thing now, for me, is that so many teams have to respect the Virtus.Pro map pool. And so if they don't play something like Overpass, often people want to get that out of the way. Or if they don't play Cobblestone, then they have to get out of the way. So you actually see a lot of train games from Virtus.Pro. And they're very, very good against every single team because of this fantastic T-side they have, a very dominant T-side. Yeah. It's very difficult to stop. And the only teams that tend to beat them on this map, truthfully, are the other best teams in the world on Train. And so the problem here is, Astralis at one point in time, like late last year, they could actually say we were one of the best teams in the world on Train as well. And they had a great set of runs on it, but it also was one of the maps, unfortunately, that was often the third map, it was often the letdown map. And so when you add in the factor that this is one of the maps I actually see as being very difficult unless you put a lot of practice in it to bring in a stand-in, especially someone who hasn't played with your team properly. At least Overpass was the best Astralis map recently. So that's where I see them having problems here. I think Virtus.Pro is going to be fantastic on Terra's side here, and I really don't know where they're going to put Zonic on the Astralis side of things.
Janko, is it fair to assume that Train specifically as a map by nature requires a whole lot of coordination that the absence of Dupree is going to have a very heavy effect on?
Definitely, and it requires all 5 players to perform on the CT side, which will be a big problem for Astralis here. There is not really a place where you can hide Zonic, so to speak, or use him as bait as much, maybe in some aggressive pushes towards Ivy, but VP is known for some of the faster strats they have on this map outside rushes, and there in those situations, there's a lot of chaos going on, and every player has to be on point to react, to make great split-second decisions. So I think that that's going to be the biggest problem for Astralis here.
Are you two leaning towards Virtus.Pro, Blue? It's hard to see past the Polish plow.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me is actually the thought that Janko just put out in that where you're going to put Zonic on the CT side, because the problem with the CT defense in this map is if even one player goes down, say in an area outside Ivy, now that's wide open and they can just push directly up there. It's very hard to maintain control when you have one guy who is almost always going to be losing his opening duels and just won't be able to hold back the tide. And the good news is for Astralis is if you go back actually to the end of last year when they were really good on this map, another player at that time was stepping up because of the fact that he was actually at risk of being removed from the team at the time, and that was Zipex. He had some really good performances late there, and if you go back, I think it was ESL Pro League Season 2 finals, he had some really great maps on Train, so if we see his performance continuing to dominate, that could be another thing that possibly swings this in the favor of Astralis.
Am I mistaken in thinking that Astralis were often described as accidentally good at Train? Like, they didn't actively pursue it in the veto process, but if they stumbled upon it, they found success. You mentioned early last year, or early this year, they were finding the success, but it wasn't deliberate. Is that
What happened was, in around the autumn of last year, the guys from Astralis had a very deep map pool.
Yeah.
But what would happen was, they would be in a situation where someone like Virtus.Pro would pick it against them. Na'Vi would pick it against them. And they were such a fantastic team at that time. I think at one point in time, for me, before ESL One, no, DreamHack Cluj Napoca, before that major, I actually think overall I had TSM as the best team. I thought they were the most well-rounded team. And Train was one of the reasons why, because it was down in the map pool, but they just kept getting all these wins on it because other opponents would force them to play it. And so that's the problem, though, is that it was a map where they were very good on it on paper, but they didn't necessarily believe themselves it was one of their best maps. So when it broke back, particularly at DreamHack Cluj Napoca, where they were very badly upset by the NIP on it, I feel like that really like shook them, and it put something in their mind that like, oh, we can't trust that map, like we can't rely upon it. And so even though they continued to be pretty good on it, it would always be the map that let them down or that they worried to play on.
And we'll be seeing how it does go down. Whether or not we'll see a third map, it seems likely, and the desk is apprehensive to give much more belief to Astralis, as they did fumble their lines right towards the end of Overpass. Let's get into Train, though, and see if Virtus.Pro can secure a spot in the semi-finals. The Danes stand in their way. Your casters are none other than Moses and Pansy.
Thank you so much, Alex and the desk. And yes, what a great picture they've just painted for us there. This is incredibly tough for Astralis now, who have to not only rebound after the back of that first map, but focus up for Train, known as one of Virtus.Pro's homes.
Yeah, and they brought up two really good points on the desk, I think. One is where do you put Zonic on this defense? Because there's nowhere to really hide him. Every single position on this map is crucial. It's critical, whether it's rotating towards the inner bomb site if you play in Connector, which is someone that can be passive. Ivy, you have to have players who are very good at holding. It's a very important part of the map. And then the other one is Blue bringing up Xyp9x. He's one of those players. Part of the reason why they were so strong on Train at one point is because Xyp9x at that inner bomb site played it fantastic. And on the other side of the things, Taz plays the same position fantastic. And if you have that inner player who's very good at solo playing that inside bomb site, you have a lot more flexibility outside.
It's an extremely good point, and you see some of the most prolific players having to play that B side. It's hard to hold, but if you get it done, it works. And look at this purchase coming out from Virtus.Pro. What a plan they must have in mind. Look at the utility they bought for this one.
You don't often see this much utility. They've had some cool pistol rounds in this tactics on this map, especially with some Molotovs. But right now, 3 smokes, 1 Molotov, a couple flashbangs as well. So not going for the armor, trusting that. I mean, Astralis with these long-range USPs, just majority of the time you're going to see the headshots. So maybe they're thinking the body armor isn't really that necessary. They'd rather have the smoke to block off and allow them to plant.
Maybe not a bad bit of theory crafting either. Again, we want to see how this comes through. There's plenty of plays they can go towards. When you see a molly, you often instantly think of B, but it may not be the case here. And there is a smoke on Carrigan that could neuter that. That could be put into play, and then he can defuse regardless. So again, there is plenty of steps towards this round coming their way, and Xyp9x already being a touch aggressive towards those brown halls means that he's keeping information very close by. But the first smokes do go in, and it's Taz and Neo going towards Pop, and this actually could be this is the hit. Taz is already out. Look how close he's gotten already. 3 players above him. This is incredible stuff. Taz, he's getting the bomb down and no one stopped him. That is absolutely sick, but now it's going to be hard to hold, surely, for Virtus.Pro.
Yeah, that wall of smokes was lined up. There's a kill from Xyp9x, but Taz just walked up. No indication he was there, but Astralis is responding, systematically eliminating this post-plant defense. There's the smoke onto the bomb. The defuse is going. Can they get it? Carrigan, it looks like he's going to get it, and he does. Astralis steals another pistol round away.
Snacks had to do nothing in that one but watch. He wasn't able to get down the molly. As you said, as soon as that smoke came in, that plan was gone. But pretty impressive stuff to build themselves into a plant already. Brave stuff from Taz just to walk straight out of Pop then and go straight towards it. Planned clearly before, a plan in mind that they came in with, but it did not work out.
I think that retake just caught Virtus.Pro off guard. They weren't expecting that many bodies to be in bomb trained so quickly, especially in that one position. Yeah, 3 people there. Very, very rare to see that. Very unlikely, and Virtus.Pro just probably didn't think that was a possibility.
Oh, Taz! What a start. Carrigan, get wrecked. That is absolutely perfect. You shouldn't be able to do that, but Taz is finding some form here, my word. And Pasha finds device. This, not again, Astralis, not like this. This is just unbearable if this happens. Zonic's now the one who has to deal with 3 possible players coming down Ivy. Nowhere is safe anymore.
Oh, but Glaive, hero play, pushes into ladder room, finds 2 kills. He gets dinked though. There's that M4 from Pasha at range. All 3 members of Virtus.Pro trying to get out of Ivy. Snacks is going to fall away with the bomb, perhaps just checking the flank. They're waiting. Bialy and Pasha just sitting here waiting for Xyp9x to peek this. He does, but they're actually not ready for it. Good damage dealt, and Virtus.Pro, they're cordoned and stalled out.
But I don't think they saw the bomb, so they might still have a little bit of air of caution about that B side, but again, they might as well keep the bodies here as there's so many presents towards Ivy. Xyp9x on that corner. Will he get the job done? They line up, he finds Pasha, the nade goes down, follows up well, but Snax actually barely takes a fleck of damage. Zonic though, that's what we needed to see from him. Snax does some work, but around they got dangerous from almost nothing.
Glaive saves that round. He only gets those 2 kills that started things off for Astralis, but the critical part about that is that he gets the 2 kills in ladder room. So from there, Astralis only had one angle they had to worry about. They couldn't get split, they couldn't get pinched from ladder room, from T-mid. All they had to do is put their attention towards Ivy. And that is a ridiculous shot from Taz.
It does, however, mean with all this damage coming through, the plant in the first, that it does mean they get the rifles here. And, well, this is going to be a very close one, of course, with Astralis suffering the other side of that. Their money is far from perfect, but they have enough, a decent enough buy. So they're going to be playing close towards Pop, going to push himself up nice and quickly. And again, this looks like quite a fast play. Actually, Zonic just got overrun. That means that suddenly this site is looking vulnerable. Device has to do with Pasha coming up Ivy, but look at this pressure instantly put down from Virtus.Pro. They're looking to smother Astralis. Splash, they're right next to each other. Snax and Kerrigan literally back to back. They're body to body, but Neo's the one to find Device and keep a strong advantage in the hands of Virtus.Pro. But this is absolute mayhem here. Kerrigan, can he come up with anything more than this? It looks like the answer is a resounding no.
He did everything he could, ran in. He couldn't make the play through the smoke that he wanted to. He does get the bomb down, but he's all alone, 7 HP, and Pasha's already on the hunt. He's in T-spawn, there's nowhere for Kerrigan to go. And this is going to be a round for Virtus.Pro. Very quickly they execute. There's that kind of very fast-paced style towards the outer bomb site. Bialy gets down the ladder as fast as possible and is able to find Zonic. That opens everything up.
Shouldn't be allowed to get away with that. The skin of your teeth, are you getting away with this? If he keeps hold of that M4, that's brilliant for him. But again, this is something that I feel, Alex, back to even the video, the introduction we had to this one, is the mayhem that Virtus.Pro love to play in. That was such a manic round.
It's where Snax feels so very comfortable. We all know he's one of the sneakiest players in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. He loves just playing around with smokes. He loves going through them. He loves toying with the edges of them. It's so hard to stop, so hard to predict. I do like the idea from Astralis, though, with Zonic pushing into ladder room. You know, you can't really hide him anywhere, so why not put him in a situation where he has an advantage in a fight? If they come down, if he can time and turn away from the pop flashes that will come down ladder room, he has a massive advantage over any Virtus.Pro player that's flying on the ladder. That round, it doesn't work, and actually it's going to be a little bit difficult because it is very spawn-based and whether you can even make it there in time to be effective. But when he does have that opportunity, it's not a bad idea.
But Virtus.Pro seemingly picking up the heat here. That was a very, I guess, classical style of Virtus.Pro. It's that very aggressive, very in your face, very much thriving in the mayhem. And again, once more we go into this one. Device going to go actually into this with the M4 as well. Kerrigan's going to keep one for himself. And let's see what goes on here. Device very, very present towards Ivy. That's deadly! Pasha out of nowhere! Just finds that for free. That is something you do not see every day.
Just finds the angle, hoping someone's far back, holding on that right side. And Device was just playing behind the smoke. That's unfortunate. And this is a force buy in this round for Astralis. They had the 1-4. Glaive's going to try and do some work. He does trade off Pasha. Looks like he wants to stay aggressive, but Bialy's going to catch him out in the open. Good find, good trade, not letting Glaive get away.
And that's a crushing start now for Astralis. They had that gun there, but that's been moved away. Taz now moves in, but Kerrigan still had the M4 as well. But 1 HP, that's not much to be done with. Xyp9x still over by connector. Kerrigan can't swap it out too easily. He has to go all the way around, which allows so much time now for Virtus.Pro to get their teeth really dug in towards this A side. So bombs can be planted. Good holding positions as well between Bialy and Neo. That crossfire is very well set.
Yeah, and trading the weapon, Kerrigan passes the M4 over to Xyp9x, who's got armor and 100 HP. See if he can do anything. They don't have a kit, they have 1 smoke, but he's got to try and find a kill soon. It's going to come down towards timing. There's the peek. Neo from ladder room. Xyp9x isn't prepared for Taz to be on the train. He's not going to get away with this M4 whatsoever. Taz hunts him down and does not get the second one. Kerrigan now has a chance to get away, but he's already being flanked upon from... Actually, no, he's not. Bialy is very far away.
And Neo's trying for it, though. Neo's going to give a bit of chase, but again, Kerrigan going right back around towards CT has kind of thrown him off guard. He should be able to survive here, unless Neo just absolutely barrels towards him. I don't think he will do at this point. And that should be another on the board. But he got a bit close then, and actually Neo does find him in the end. That's the gun lost there, so 2-2 now. Virtus.Pro showing that they do have that incredible prowess here.
Astralis buying into that round. They only had about $1,500 each, so no real big loss. They did decent damage, but now this is where Virtus.Pro can kind of build up that bank a little bit more. You see Snax investing in the SMG. He wants that bonus money. Astralis will have to sit out 1 more round before they can get guns on the board.
See how Virtus.Pro approach this. Not known for maybe their strength against ecos compared to other teams here. Some teams have made it a real kind of pulling point for them. But but it just looks like a straight up aggressive play. You can see Pasha and Taz already looking for these fights quite early. The smoke set up by Neo, and there's Taz just taking the man-to-man fights. Why not at this point? You know you have the advantage. Don't mess around, don't be scared of it, just take the fights you need, and there comes Neo. So a nice little pinch towards the A side. Glaive's in a bit of a spot that he could do maybe some work in. We're going to be singled out by Pasha, and only Device able to trade into that.
Even Zipnik's on a flank, but he doesn't come down the ladder, so it's going to be a round for Virtus.Pro, and that's the thing. This next round bye from Astralis is going to be a little bit scary for them. Device putting in some work here.
Yeah, catching Snacks in a really awkward spot then, and now in the 1v3, he has no armor. That's the thing, he'd have to catch off almost all these players and have that first shot, otherwise the aim punch really does kick in, and he's going to have to try and be very cautious on his positioning, because these guys are going to chase this one. You can see Bialy, Taz, Neo all closing into where he could possibly escape towards. So going to be hard for him to keep this one in hand.
Yeah, he's actually, Taz gets him from behind, down to 2 HP, just one more, and there it is. So Virtus.Pro ruthless, not letting Astralis keep any guns into the next round, and it's critical to see how much utility Astralis is going to have. How many nades will they have after this bye? And actually, it's going to be light for Device, it's going to be light for Kerrigan, both investing into Glass Cannon off. And this is the scary part, that these fast tactics from Virtus.Pro, if they come out with it again, they have all the smoke to isolate these oppers to make them very uncomfortable. They have all the Molotovs and the flashes. There's not very much that Astralis can do to slow them down if it's an aggressive tactic. Exactly,
that's a nightmare, isn't it? When you're on those double orbs, if they do this quick all-in plays towards sites, it kind of nullifies any impact that you could have possibly had. So again, Snack straight down through pop. Look at this guy's move and just swings out, looking for the hit, can't get it. Device will beat him to the punch first.
He misjudged that angle. It looked like he wanted to come pre-fire that angle, but he was just a little bit shallow on it, so he had to creep out, and Device had it already. So that's a little bit of a bummer. That'll help out. Makes up for the lack of Molotovs on the CT side.
So now Bialy and Pasha looking towards Ivy. You've got Device waiting on the other side. First flash comes through, allows Pasha to cross around towards the right side. Nade to follow, pushing Device off the angle, and nades do a lot of work here, keep in mind. The armor, of course, not placed with Astralis on 2 of their members, so have to be cautious in regards to how long they stick out these angles.
Just throwing a small fake over towards the inner bomb site, and at the same time, Virtus.Pro, Pasha's starting to get aggressive towards Ivy. His defense has been forced away. Zonic is very much alone. Glaive is pushed up, so all these members outside for Astralis, it's actually some very isolated fights. Thankfully, Virtus.Pro at the moment, they're also spread out across the map. Losing 1 member, you don't really have 2 players to group up and do any kind of entry trading. Neo trying to find a pick towards the end of the bomb site, trying to even things out. Kerrigan actually might oblige him. It looked like he was rotating over, but...
He's seen it. But will he be able to find Zipnix? Zipnix so close. The gun barrel shows through. A very comfortable pick up there for Zipnix. And again, retaining numbers, that's the important factor here for Astralis, not giving up picks, not giving up angles. And they've had to give up those some real estate on this map. Good work from Sonic, great timing on the peek out from Glaive as well. And 1 by 1, Virtus.Pro walk in, and 1 by 1, they get back.
Nice round from Astralis. No one dying on their team, so now Kerrigan and Device can have the armor. They can have the Molotovs and buy all the nades they'll need. And their buy will come out for Virtus.Pro. It just seemed like VP got a little bit stumped. They had a lot of faith in Snacks to get that pick, and from there they just didn't seem to have a plan after that. It was very spread out, very individual aggression based, and they lost all those duels.
Yep. This is it from Device's perspective, as you said. Snacks had to almost overcompensate by creeping out that touch further, so it really did cause them a hindrance then. All right, so back into this one, 3-3 now. Astralis showing that they do have some room to work with here, but still, this is a tough one to control. Virtus.Pro still on the buy, as you mentioned. The money's still there with them. Not broken just yet, but it's now a more robust Astralis.
Yeah, this should be the, I mean, if Astralis can win this, this should be the last buy out of Virtus.Pro. They've run out of money off this early run out of them. Glaive and Zonic this round playing aggressive together. Kerrigan and Device far back to the AWPs. Once again, this is allowed because Zipnik's at the inner site. They have a lot of faith in him. Kerrigan just now rotating over to support. But still no pressure applied by Virtus.Pro.
And this might just be a feeling, a read. I don't know how they sometimes kind of judge this, but already Kerrigan positioning for possibly wave for Neo. Taz is there too, so 2 present this time on the B site quite quickly. Zonic pushed up by Pop, but the bomb is with Snacks, and he's still pretty far away, but this aggressive positioning from Astralis will at least give them the information that no one's following up from these smokes just yet. So they know that maybe, okay, maybe there's still something afoot here, maybe this is still a plan in mind.
And Zonic's back in the ladder room, so he's got that advantage if they try and drop down on him. Neo and Taz, last time we saw Neo throw a little bit of a fake, they might try and get a little bit more aggressive with 2 members there, or maybe send 1 in and then drop down the ladder and come towards outside, and that's exactly what's happening. Both Taz and Neo are going to drop down. Here comes the outer hit.
Oh, this is brilliant. They pulled Sonic over as well. Device even back to air touch, and now here comes the hit. It's Glaive who has to keep this one together with Device, but now Device finds Neo, but here comes Taz into the battle. Glaive isolates Pasha. Taz now surges forward towards the side, but it's Sonic waiting so patiently, and a big impact from Sonic. We called him out for maybe finding it hard to find position, but that was certainly a good one for him.
That is a sick defense from Astralis. They fall back at the right moment, and Virtus.Pro, they find no traction in that hit. They seem to make a lot of progress onto the bomb site, but once they get to that train, I mean, Astralis just pounces and all the kills go their way. A good pick by Device opens things up. This is a nice performance so far from Astralis on a map that we thought they were going to struggle with.
Well, I think even at the start, I said to you that even on a regular day, and even the desk, I think, had the discussion of it, the fact is on a regular day, you'd still put Virtus.Pro in a really good spot against full-strength Astralis. Sure, Astralis historically can do wonders on this, but it's still such a good map for Virtus.Pro. Their T-side normally magnificent in its form, but this is a good beginning now for Astralis. It's not over yet. This is very much early days. 4-3 is not condemning at all. It's very much up in the air.
I think the key, especially even on Overpass, if you think back to that previous map, we keep mentioning Astralis having two stand-ins with Zonic playing with Glaive coming in. Glaive's not playing like a stand-in. In fact, he's not a liability, but he's even actually benefiting this. He's helping this team so much. He's had an incredible performance in this series so far. That's a huge reason why they're able to survive in some of these. In Overpass for so long, how they were able to withstand the pressure. Now on Train, he's being very effective early on over by the electric box.
Yeah, and even later into the round, in the previous round, he was playing over by Ivy, but coming back to that in a second. Taz, feeling the heat, then has to back up towards the ladder. The molly being extinguished by the smoke, but the push is going to come through nevertheless, and it is Glaive, the man you highlighted, being pressured from the right side, from the left. The flash doesn't work out, and Glaive with a lovely bit of aim work there, but it's all a little too easy in the end, and Virtus.Pro don't get too many steps towards the side itself. They do keep control again for Astralis. But yeah, I've been thoroughly impressed by Glaive. He had to adapt, fall backwards to watch the pusher from Ivy before. He dealt with Pasha there. It's all been very good from him. Very solid performance.
Especially he's going to keep having this impact. This is now 2 rounds. I mean, this was an eco round, but still under a lot of pressure. This shot right there was great. Running out of bullets as well. But even on the gun round play from there, gets 2 kills. Doing a very, very good job. Keep in mind as well, he's also the one that's more often than not being supported and playing with Zonic. So those two have probably never played together.
Oh, what a start. Device, good find on Snacks. That's going to remove one big threat from the board away. And again, retaining such dominance early on, this is perfect for them. He took a bit of damage, but still came out on top. So this could be tough to sell any of those fakes here. They can still keep players on those sites as long as they need.
A switch up as well in the defense. Kerrigan's the one alone at the inner bomb site instead of Zipnik. So if it was going to be a change in tactics by VP, if they were going to head towards that inner site, they would have found an op there. So trying to give different looks to the terrorist team. Astralis, they're up 5-on-4. And once again, Virtus.Pro, it seems like they're stuck now. They've lost Snacks, much like the other round. He's out. Found by Device again, and Neo and Taz are very isolated in other portions of the map. There's a good pick by Pasha, though, as the smoke clears.
That's lovely. That removes Glaive, but he knows the Device is going to be nearby, hence why he's just going with so much caution. He can't get the shot. Device wins out on that, and now 4v3. Virtus.Pro not favoring the numbers here, but Device in a bit of an awkward spot. He does have support from Zonic, a little bit from Zipnix, but relatively isolated. Bialy can't find a clean shot. He does. Zonic, a little lackluster on the peak, then just swinging out with this, I think it was a flash in hand or a smoke, not too sure, but still Taz is not done. He is now, and down to the 3v2. The Orbs have to come in with the goods, and it's Device on 4. He had his back to the wall. Now he's pinned to it, and he's left it down to the 2. Carrigan and Zipnix up against Neo. Neo individually, this is one of his better maps. He can have huge performances. 9 seconds remain, Moses. This is almost looking all but over. And Astralis are playing it to the absolute T. Look at this play coming out for them. Neo knows it. He can't do anything. It's Astralis again. Thanks to Device in that round more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, he was the big factor, right? 4 kills for him with that AWP. Even trapped at one moment next to the trains. Fantastic job by him. This double op setup for Astralis is working exactly how they wanted. It's perfect so far.
Absolutely perfect, and yeah, good seeing Device playing well with the Orb. It was Carrigan pretty much picking up the headlines in previous matches with the Orb, but Device having a good beginning here for himself. And again, Virtus.Pro's money, not so great now. They've got a 1 rifle on Neo that was retained from the previous round. This time though, to support him, merely Deagles. Again, Taz did do pretty well with it before, but shouldn't be able to get away with that every day of the week.
You're not going to get a shot like that twice.
Just wait for him to do it, just to prove you wrong. Please.
This is now the question, though, because they don't have a lot of utility to play with. They have 3 smokes, but they don't really have anything that they can use to pressure and try and find a pick, try and force a rotation. Especially with these pistols, essentially you're going to expect an execute out of them at this point. And here it comes, it looks like. Taz and Neo coming down the ladder, Snacks, Bialy, Pasha coming out main.
And already Zipnix was watching those brown holes. He knew that no one was there, so already starting to look towards it. Karrigan's nade will be the one to find Snacks in the end, but the support waiting in the wings. Taz a little hesitant to walk out. This is the pistol strap from the first round almost, just with far more firepower, but Pasha tries to go around the back, and Glaive is going to support his teammate as much as possible. Neo, the only one to find some work so far. He is the man with the rifle, but the bomb not planted, going to make this incredibly difficult, and those orbs are absolutely reigning supreme here for Astralis, and Bialy found by one as well. This is a deadly duo that doesn't seem to be going away.
This defense is propped up by 3 rounds earlier when they first started their streak, rounds 6, 7, and 8. Only 1 player for Astralis died in all 3 of those rounds. This has allowed so much money to be built up. Over 11,000 on Zipnix and Karrigan. They have all the nades they need. One of the reasons Virtus.Pro is so strong on the T side of this map is because even when they lose rounds, they're so good at finding kills, of keeping your money low. So just as this half moves forward and progresses, usually you still get weaker and you just eventually can't withstand Virtus.Pro. Astralis has done a great job of making sure they have the money to be able to withstand it.
And one of the players we really highlighted hasn't had to do much. This is, again, looking very similar to the previous round. But this time, Zonic, well, he's just a bit of a bullet sponge at this point. Gets picked up by Pasha, and now Device has to back away. Needs to be careful. Needs to respect what's coming their way, because 3 players are about to pour out pop. And here comes the hit from Virtus.Pro. That high intensity about to come in towards their faces, and there it is. 2, 3 back-to-back for Pasha. That's the impact you want to see him having. And now Karrigan locked out and denied any step towards that.
That's the aggressive Virtus.Pro we were talking about earlier. 1 kill, and you can see how fast that plant gets down when they execute in that fashion. As soon as there's any kind of opening, they're in the bomb site, and they're wiping all the defense out. And even Astralis had a fantastic defense setup for it. They had the second op at the inner site. They had 3 rifles outside. That was everything you could have asked for. And Karrigan's going to have trigger discipline here to make sure that he can save this gun.
Oh, that's beautiful. Taz is still on the site, though. Oh, the timing. Taz didn't see him either. Karrigan. No, oh my God, he's been spotted. All right, Taz. Oh, get right. Karrigan, nice work from him. Bialy's close, but not really that close right now. He should be able to keep hold of it. And there we go. So the AWP does manage to stay over, and the money's still pretty good for Astralis, to be fair. Well above 10K on 2, Zipnix and Karrigan. Bear in mind, Zipnix hasn't had much action on B. This is generally a focus from Virtus.Pro. He's just been playing a couple of retakes, having to just play from the back lines. But Pasha having these entries and having this impact mid-round was absolutely instrumental in this round again. God, what a shot.
Bomb gets planted at a minute and 20, so 30 seconds essentially into the round after the, it was very quick after that execute, maybe 5 seconds after the execute, it's already down. Very tough to deal with. And again, this is fast paced, but it looks like it's towards the inner bomb site instead.
This is nice, this is different. This is the first time we might see the real test of Zipnix and Karrigan having to deal with more than just, maybe Neo making a play or one by each other. Here we go, that's the first test winning out. Karrigan catching out Neo. 4 still waiting, they're still going to commit to this, they're still going to go for it. Karrigan looks for more if they see any smokes coming over. Not the case. Bialy's already out on the site though. Flash is holding back the others. Bialy's isolated Zonic. That's a quick pickup. Can't find the connection there for Karrigan, but it's Zipnix to find Bialy. Back and forth we go. The no-scope, it was brave, but it's not going to work out in the end, leaving Taz and Pasha with so much work to do. And oh, that bomb in such a dire place. Glaive is loving it. Feed the machine right now. And Astralis retain a very nice lead here.
Pretty crazy to see. Normally when the rounds and train get that hectic, that's when Virtus.Pro, you can really see their strength as a unit on this map. Astralis coming out on top of that one. Again though, another opening pick, Karrigan onto Neo that round. A lot of first kills going the way of Astralis. And Glaive in ladder room is a champion. He's got 13 and 7, Device, the other big performer for Astralis, 12 and 6.
So, Virtus.Pro not playing all that together on that B hit. Kind of went in one by one, got isolated a little. What if they're going to do it again? Karrigan alone this time. Zipnix isn't with him. Karrigan playing with the AWP so close range. This could have been deadly, but just about makes it away in time. Having a feeling, getting that idea of what's coming his way. Maybe Glaive here in a couple of steps. He's asking for help. You can see Zipnix coming back around. I think they're starting to get the picture of what's coming their way this time. And I'm hoping for Virtus.Pro's sake, they make such a more kind of together effort on this one, because Karrigan would love to have those one-to-one fights again.
They should know he's going to be here. This is where he took out Neo last time. There's the flash, and he does it anyways. Second kill. Taz drops him, but 2 for Kerrigan.
That's brilliant from Kerrigan. That's the impact you want to be having. But now, can the bomb get planted? Pasha's the one with it in hand. That's his duty. The molly's going to come out. I'm not sure if he's going to make it perfect in sight. It's a little too deep, actually. So bomb is now down. Glaive on the deep flank, though, will be able to deny anyone from those halls, meaning that now Astralis know they're all between these trains. They're sticking on the side, and it's going to be Taz to get down Zonic. He has to do more, though. Snacks gets taken out as well. It's all on Taz's hands, and Glaive! What a heroic effort in the last couple of rounds from that individual. Brilliant timing on the flank, not going too early, waiting for the timing to be correct, supporting his teammates, and the defuse comes out. This is a level of performance from an individual you don't get to see very often.
Also, incredible usage of Molotovs by the Astralis side on that retake. That first Molotov that's thrown, Pasha plants the bomb. That Molotov is designed not to kill him or prevent the plant, but to force him out of that position at the bomb site into the open. They didn't immediately take him out, but a second Molotov lands in the middle of the bomb train, and then he's forced out of the open one more time. Just could not get comfortable, could not set up anything to defend against that retake. And Astralis just marched their way through, combined with that flank from Glaive. It's perfect.
Absolutely and utterly. And again, I'm wondering if this is the kind of pistol strat that we see coming out from Virtus.Pro they like to do to ensure the bomb plants, but this is far more smokes than they've had before, so this should be a nice wall of smoke, maybe across the site, try and isolate either Glaive or Zonic if they're pushed up. They still have to get past Device if they really want that to work out. They've got Pasha and Taz to try and, I guess, build into that one. The flash comes out, Pasha crosses again. Device knows this now. He's starting to get the game plan that's coming out from Pasha. He knows what he likes to do on this. Nade, Molly denies the play, but Virtus.Pro weren't looking for that fast hit. Look at the other positions. None really committing just yet.
You can see Astralis all backing away from their more aggressive stances, playing around the bomb train. Kerrigan's rotating over. Xyp9x has seen nothing but Device as well. That smoke obscures his vision. There's Zonic with one, and Device gets the second. That's on to Taz. So there goes the alley attack, and all of a sudden it's just 3 members of Virtus.Pro, and Device, what a recovery.
He's a man possessed at the moment with that AWP, and there's the plant denied. Glaive even comes back in to do the heavy lifting in the end to really secure the economy, not falling into the hands of Virtus.Pro. Their money is not going to be perfect here. They're down to, what, 4.8? They can get a good enough buy, but it's still not going to be as solid as I can imagine they'd want. 10-4. Virtus.Pro, known for their T-side power, their aggression, their really unrelenting force that they can bring, not being really as prolific.
Not being as effective as we would have.
It really isn't. This is the thing. Astralis are just meeting it with the same thing. We haven't seen much adaptation from Astralis. We've seen some CT switches in their defaults, a little bit from, Xyp9x here and there, but not much, aggression across the map. This time, I told a lie. Kerrigan's found Pasha. They've gone for a bit of a switch up here. The line of smoke came down towards A, and they thought, why not try and make a play off the back of it?
Almost feels like Virtus.Pro wanted to be more aggressive there, but that opening kill by Kerrigan slows them all down. They have 2 smokes left. They threw a couple. So now they've got to reconvene and figure things out. It is a 4-on-4, and once again, this is where another advantage is going to come in for Astralis. Because they have so much faith in Xyp9x at the center bomb site, because he's been so effective there in the past, they can keep 3 players outside.
He's been calling for help at the right times if required. Kerrigan generally being his support. Not there this time, of course, being the first man to trade out with Pasha in the end, but
it's going to be Device who rotates over. He's got that other AWP, and it looks like he's going to get there just in time.
Yep, Snacks and Neo about to do this. Flash comes in. Slows him down, if anything, allowing Device time to get towards looking at upper, so allowing Xyp9x to focus towards that lower ramp push. Here come the smokes, here come the flashes, and here comes Virtus.Pro. First one misses Device. You got to hit those. There we go, makes up for it. Taz goes down, leaving Bialy and Neo just scratching their heads going, what just happened?
Xyp9x gets that first kill and just falls back and baits him right into the crosshair of Device. This is beautifully done, a second kill. It's all down to Neo, and he gets nothing. 11-4 for Astralis.
This is a masterful first half coming through here from Astralis. These guys are looking exceedingly solid here. But let's remind ourselves, the T-side is where they sometimes struggle on that previous map as well. They weren't able to trade in effectively. Their slow picks and plays just weren't paying out. So this is still up in the air. It may look good for now, but do not write Virtus.Pro out of this one. Astralis are not done just yet, guys. Do stay tuned. We'll be back after a short break. 11-4 was the first half. Virtus.Pro renowned on this map, but it seems as though Astralis just don't accept that they're going down in this game just yet, Moses.
Well, we talked a lot about the performance of Device and Glaive, two of the stars of Astralis, two of the big reasons why they're this far ahead after a CT half that we thought they would be in a lot of trouble with. You look on the other side, you know, one of those players you expect on the Virtus.Pro to be stepping it up, especially a map like Train where he usually has a fantastic impact, is Snax. He's at 2-13. Massive underperformance for one of the biggest stars on Virtus.Pro.
Yeah, not what you want to have in the back of your mind here at all for them. This is a big second half for them to come back in towards. They had the advantage in that previous map going into the second half, so for them, this is a build-back moment. It's not impossible. It's just tough, considering that we expected maybe more aggression from Virtus.Pro there. They seem to be doing well on some of those aggressive rounds. They got halted, as you said, by the likes of Glaive coming in with the goods, a little bit of here and there from Device on that AWP was absolutely deadly. So, many factors coming alive for Astralis here. This is going to be the second half.
And this is where we've seen them struggle, you know, all the way back towards that series against Dignitas on these T sides. This is where you're really going to see the impact of having some stand-ins, having some players that aren't normally in your roster. When something doesn't work, when Virtus.Pro stops something that you have planned, what do you have to fall back on? You haven't practiced much with these two players, so you're not going to have that deep playbook to adjust.
Certainly could be a factor, and it really did haunt them on that first map, but it looks like a bit of a 3-2 split, just straight in towards A. Zipnik's down through Pop, Kerrigan already out, and you got 3 coming down through Ivy. Pasha has to wait for the 3, but he turns around, tries to back away, and it's Snax, the man we called out for being a little quiet on the first half. Finds at least a good start in the second, but Device and Glaive overpower them. What a shot from Kerrigan on the move towards Bialy, and it's a bit astonishing here from Astralis, just taking up to front, man-to-man fights, and they're winning it out. Kerrigan closes on Neo, and Astralis get this started. The second half started with a bang.
Virtus.Pro had 2 members right behind that green train, right by Ivy. And it took them so long to actually get eyes down alley and see that the rush was coming that way. When Pasha eventually did go check it out, he got overwhelmed, forced out of position right into the hands of a player from Astralis waiting in ladder room for that exact kill. It was perfectly executed from Astralis. So much pressure put on one location of the map, and the defense crumbled.
Why coming back in, though, for Virtus.Pro to quite a margin.
4 nades on the Virtus.Pro side. They're going to try and nade stack over towards the choke point, see if they can catch Astralis off executing it. It could be towards Ivy when they spot it out.
Yeah, Pasha's going to have to call for this one. See if anyone moves towards it. At the moment, he's all alone. This could completely render those nades useless if they make this quick flash. Oh, this is brilliant. Glaive just leaps out into the loving arms of Pasha, takes him down, and they're looking to try and get this one as clean as possible. Snax overwhelmed, outplayed. Glaive is playing an absolute blinder of a game so far. Such confidence, and it's all working out. Neo. All right, catching Glaive. 2v4. Almost finds another. Not going to be the case, however. Leaving Taz with CZ and armor. It might be time to try and keep hold of that if he can.
I mean, you can just see Glaive is starting to just get so much confidence with how well he's been playing, just straight up just bull rushing that alley. With the SMG, getting those 3 kills, Virtus.Pro is in a lot of trouble right now because despite all the struggles on the T side, if you have a guy like Glaive who's playing like this, a guy like Device playing like this, when they start to have that confidence, if they're able to even just get 1 or 2 kills, that alleviates so much pressure from any kind of tactic they have to run. That gives them such a big advantage. And right now, there's no one on VP who's able to step up in the same way as Glaive and Device.
It's terrifying, isn't it? Zonic's starting to have a good game, you know. Pretty sure he knows Train a lot better than Overpass, just classically.
Yeah, I mean, that does help. He probably has never actually played a game on Overpass before.
Let's be honest, if you want to go back to that sort of point, it's probably true. But yeah, as you said, if one player starts getting this hot, you know, if this one player starts feeling warmed up, confident in front of this crowd, that everyone starts cheering behind them, what a feeling he's going to have, and it will just overcome those issues they previously had until it gets broken. Of course, it can break. It might break in the next couple of rounds, but look at the score margin already. It's 13-4. Astralis have so many rounds to play with, and they're so close to taking this to a third map, and this has gone backwards almost. You would have thought Astralis should have been the real dominant force coming out, if any, in this series on the first map, but then Virtus.Pro, all right, they can grind it out. Then the second one, it's got to be a whitewash, right? You're looking at Virtus.Pro on Train against a team with 2 standards. Not the case. So, looking at this round, 4 plays stacked towards B from Virtus.Pro. No one really showing too much just yet. Zonic and Zipnix might be walking into a trap.
Well, Zipnix has the SMG. They both have SMG, so it's not the biggest deal if they die, because they're not going to give up or anything. The key is they have to be. I mean, if they both get washed out without getting any kills, that would be the issue. But are they going to commit before being able to find out this is a stack? It looks like Virtus.Pro inside, they're getting a little bit antsy. They've all gotten a little bit more aggressive, but actually, Astralis is rotating right back into this. Here's a chance now for Virtus.Pro.
This is quite scary, quite genuinely. There's a lot of damage to be received on this, especially when you've got Taz, the man who pretty much put that first nail in the Astralis coffin in that final round in overtime with the CZ. Flash comes out, no response. Caution shot, but here we go. There's that CZ again, the deadly CZ, and it comes into play. Pasha towards Zipnix, Taz towards Sonic. Glaive just keeping it in check before it all spiraled out of control, but there's still an advantage here for Virtus.Pro.
Yeah, and this is a sick read by them as well, just bailing out to the outside bomb site. It's going to be another stack Astralis is met with. Are they going to be prepared for this? At least now they have the range. The Molotovs come out, the smokes to the choke point. Neo is isolated. He gets the kill anyways. This is huge. Eventually he's taken down by the fire. One boosted up device gets dropped.
It's down to Carrigan, 10 seconds left, he has to find him, and no! Taz again, causing absolute mayhem with that CZ. 3 for him, supported initially by Pasha, and then Neo comes out. Devastating for Astralis.
I mean, Taz, a miraculous play with the CZ, ends the match on overpass, brings them the win. Here, it gets him right back into this game, prevents this from getting too out of hand. It looked like Astralis was going to get up towards 14 so early, too early for VP to recover from, but another big-time play. That kill on device, he had to get that immediately.
Okay, again, window of opportunity starts to form, doesn't it? You get yourself back in, even something small like that, you get it early, you get it almost for free, a little bit cheaper than you should. It's got to get them feeling better about this one. Okay, guys, we've got the guns now, we can do this, we can do much more than this. Still, it's on a knife's edge. This is a very fine line they're starting to walk here.
Not to mention, that's the kind of round that you lose that'll really kind of shift your focus. So Astralis have to hold strong. 4 AKs at Tech 9 on the Astralis side. And Virtus.Pro, they were aggressive early on this defense for the side of yard. Bialy's still in ladder room, but Snax and Neo very much playing together, very much playing at about the middle of that outer train yard. And it's only Taz inside, who, by the way, we should say this is a specialist map of his, as Thorin likes to put it. Probably one of his best maps playing alone at this inner bomb site. He's so effective here.
That's actually a very good point. I always start to look at Neo when he started to warp again on this map, but it is Taz consistently. But you can see the hesitation now on Astralis. They are having to respect what's coming back in from Virtus.Pro here. Device and Glaive have been halted down by Ivy. Looking like they want to make the hit now. Bialy waits so perfectly towards drop until the second. Device and Zonic claim kills, and now they have the advantage. Snax with the UMP though, not going to let them have all the fun. Neo claims at least one towards Zonic, but left into the 2v2. It's Neo and Taz against Device and Carrigan. 30 seconds, Carrigan catches Neo on the perfect angle, and now Taz can't do it again. It's Carrigan with 2, and Astralis take another stride towards picking up map 2 here.
They're not done yet though, because Virtus.Pro is able to win that eco round with just pistols. They're going to be able to buy into this one. 3 members will have rifles. Bialy, Taz, and Snax picked those up. Pasha and Neil will be stuck on pistols, but still pretty formidable buy coming out that Astralis has to be very, very careful with.
14.
Oh, that's what a way to open a round for Device.
Device is actually really on point. Again, he was a man who wasn't having the biggest of games before, but this is a really solid game for him, especially on this map. But look at this instant aggression from Glaive. Straight out, straight looking for the fights. Before, it was cautious, it was hesitant. Maybe he should have done it again. Neo's just punished him with that 5-7. Carrigan's left reeling off the back of it going, I'm all alone now. I could be overwhelmed, I could be pushed, I'm going to be smoked out. He gets the timing on the shot. Pasha steps out right into it. And now 4v4 is back all even.
Huge kill to get, and a little bit of luck going the way of Astralis in these past couple rounds, but why not? You'll always take it. Neo's going to be in position for a fast flank because Astralis is hitting this inner bomb site. Taz is here. He's got the M4. He's got to hold strong. He's got to hold a little bit longer. Here comes the flank from Neo. Neo gets one. Taz gets the other, but they're going to shut this down. 3 kills for them. Astralis gets snuffed out again at this inner bomb site.
Taz showing some class there. Neo especially as well, very much at the forefront in supporting him in that play, denying any step towards the site that Astralis was trying to have. So, 14-6. Money now down for Astralis. They're down to pistols here and there. If anything, very low actually. Device can actually invest into the Deagle.
As much of as this looks bad for Astralis, that they can't win some of these, the eco round that they lost, now they just lost a round with against 2 pistols, they can afford to make these trades still. They're up. Obviously, you don't want to let Virtus.Pro, you don't want to give them that much of a window, but if they keep trading rounds like this, that's okay because they're already at 14. They have some rounds to play with still.
Plenty of opportunity on the cards, and any damage dealt here is a massive bonus. shouldn't be able to be achieved, but we saw what a CZ can do to a whole team, so I wouldn't write him out just yet, but the start is going to be very tough to claim a plant from. There's no utility just to even smoke in towards that B side, so it's going to be pretty tough here.
Pasha with a good chance to get that opening pick, and it's Device with the Deagle trying to duel with it. Not going to work out. And that was kind of the hopes and dreams of Astralis in this round, was on him getting some kind of a pick. Now they only have a couple P250s. They have no utility whatsoever, so it's basically group up, probably towards the inner bomb site, and just hope and pray that some mistake from Virtus.Pro will allow you to get a plant.
Yeah, Tazzo looking pretty solid so far, at least with Neo in support. Those two have been very, very crisp on denying any cheeky plants here and there, so going to be Ali. Eyes towards Pop, this could be it. Yeah, here comes the play. So all Glocks out. Glaive, what? Gets one, gets two, Glaive? Are you kidding me right now? That's unbelievable play, but it's not done yet. There's the recovery finally coming in from Snax. That was getting, that shouldn't be allowed. You shouldn't be allowed with a P250 to find two in that instance. One I forgive, two's a little too much, and that bomb almost got to the side.
What a force Glaive is being in this matchup. Almost giving them that window to get the bomb planted, almost even finding a way to salvage a weapon and make something from it. So VP 7 of 14 making this comeback. Another save round now for Astralis again because they have such a wide margin still. They have the chance to give up some of these rounds and just get that economy going strong, and that's a couple very nice shots at the P250.
Yeah, absolutely nuts. This time around though, looking at the bio, it had to be a double eco anyway, but this time they can come back in at least with slightly better upgraded pistols. Before it was just like the one Deagle. Pasha missing a shot you should be hitting there. Karen's going to back away from it. He's not going to try and refocus as he knows that Pasha's going to be holding another angle slightly further back, but you can see Snax now having to respond in kind by getting some sort of control towards A, looking for something here, and it looks like they're all just going to set up towards an A hit.
Again, though, they have no nades, no utility. They didn't really invest too much into this, so it's going to have to be someone like Glaive pushing through smoke. Snax. Oh, you're out in the open. Glaive has missed those shots after the incredible last round. He struggles here, but Snax is in a tough spot, down at 35, and he's got to find a way to fall back. Pasha's got his back, though.
Yep. Molly comes in. That's going to keep Glaive pinned in there, if anything. I don't think he's going to go over there. No, he's burning alive and right into the eyesight of Pasha. And now 3 left. This should be pretty much cleanly done. Snax did go down, and Carrigan's looking for a chance. Not going to get much of it with Viali there. As now they try and make their play, but last man is Device. He does have the Deagle. That's Neo gone. But Pasha finds him in the end. So, Virtus.Pro winning out those 2 rounds. They're on the eco. Astralis now will have the money to have a good buy coming in here. They can get the AWPs if they want it. They can see what they want to do with it. But Virtus.Pro on the other hand as well will have enough money to bring whatever they want into this round.
Kerrigan's got the only AWP on the Astralis side. It's dropped over from Zonic. And now it's the question, do they try and go for something aggressive? Do they try and go for something fast-paced to catch VP off guard? Kerrigan is taking that op towards the inner bomb site. Might drop down ladder. We've seen him try and get a couple picks out of that from that position. And indeed, Zipnex and him are both going to be down there. So Astralis right off the bat setting up for an outer execute. The bomb and one other Glaive and Device are over towards Ivor right now. Those are the 2 heavy hitters for Astralis all in one spot.
Pasha's going to be the one to keep them back if he can. He's got, as you said, Glaive down there, Device down there. I'm not sure if they want to commit just yet. Glaive's dancing with some real danger here. This could be a shot and a half from Pasha, but Flash comes through. Actually, tell a lie. It's smoke. There's the Molly to follow. Pasha now backs away in towards the right side. So now Glaive's forged himself a path through if he wants to push up, but then there's still Bialy. He's keeping their attention very much drawn towards this. But look at Zonic, look at Zipnex. They're still tendering towards B. They have not fully committed here. This is Astralis taking their time, pushing Virtus.Pro back into more deeper positions, having to make them take the fight on the sides.
They haven't applied too much pressure towards that inner bomb site. Zonic just making a presence there. At least it's pulled Neo on the rotate over towards the B site. So 2 members here for Virtus.Pro. Glaive now starting to make his move. Him and Device. There's still a smoke blocking off Pasha, so he can't really do too much, and he can't provide any information either. He just hears the noise, and there's Bialy with the first kill. That's Kerrigan. He gets traded off by Zipnex, though. Snax on the bomb site has got to hold strong. Pasha, that smoke is cleared. He might have a chance now.
He really should have a chance. That's a bomb down. Device had it to hand. So now Glaive and Zipnex having to work against the odds. 2v3. Pasha finds Glaive, and another. Zipnex goes down. Virtus.Pro building back into this game now. 14-9. Pasha It wasn't perfect at the start, but he certainly made up with it at the end.
No, but it's such a difficult spot to be in when you have to remain that patient. You're not able to help your teammates. You're not able to pass any information. You start second guessing if you should move, if you should rotate or get out of position. And he just holds strong, waits for that smoke to subside. And Astralis, they didn't make their move soon enough. They had him isolated. They had him out of the action. And when they finally do make their move, the smoke clears. He's got a free shot on device. Really nice round from Pasha. 14-9 now. There is a pause out. It's been 4 straight rounds for Virtus.Pro and 5 of the last 6.
Yeah, tactical pause for Astralis coming in. And even though, as you said, the scoreline is still really nicely working for them, it's still a good scoreline. They can just work through this. They still need to be cautious because it looks like Virtus.Pro found an answer. They found a way to play into this. Glave's not having that much success anymore. He can't just barrel out towards a site. It's not as simple as that. So for them, back to the drawing board for a sec, just have a little discussion, talk it through. What can we change? What can we adapt here?
Well, this is why, you know, all the analysts and we've always talked about Virtus.Pro as such a dangerous team on train. While generally they're way more effective on the T side than what we saw here today, they're so dangerous on both sides. It's one of those things where if they build that momentum, even on the CT side, that's when you start seeing them just as suffocating as we saw Astralis in the first half.
Bear in mind that first map did finish 19-17. It went to overtime. It was still so close. And Dupree, I can imagine, watching right now, having to watch his team go through this. It must be hard from the sidelines to keep this one watched. Of course, we're hoping he gets better soon. 14-9 though. This is a tough one for Astralis here.
One thing that's helping VP as well in these rounds is because we're seeing buys out of Astralis, and then the next round is a save or a half buy into the round, and then another full buy. It's just back and forth. It is because there's no plants coming out for Astralis. They're not getting that bomb down, so that extra $800 actually goes a long way as this losing bonus builds up. If they can start getting some of those plants, that's when you start to see repeated buys. That's when you start to see them really able to punish the economy of Virtus.Pro by just grinding this out. They still have a few rounds where that can be effective, where you could just grind down the economy, because VP, I mean, they have 3 members that are less than $2,000 in the bank, and Taz is right at $2,200. So if there's a round won by Astralis, all of a sudden you're going to start to see the buys for Virtus.Pro are going to be a little bit more sketchy.
They certainly need it all. If they start running out of ways to stop players just kind of taking those straight up man-to-man fights, it becomes difficult. You know, Device is having great success on it, so is Glaive. So again, all these factors need to kind of be in the right place for Virtus.Pro here. So keeping that money as strong as possible is a huge factor. But here we go, Astralis back into this one. Not much to play with though. P250s, Tech 9s, a bit of armor here and there, and 3 smokes. So again, they could create the wall of smoke on towards A, and it looks like maybe that's the plan so far. We'll see if they commit to it, bearing in mind there's still a bit of time here, but no, they are going to go straight forward. The smoke's actually playing very out late. They're going for a little bit of a play ahead of the smoke, but it's not gone too well. The rifle's going to just absolutely tear them to pieces. Bialy's USP is going to get into the action, and there we have it. Glaive's your last man standing.
There you'll see a little bit of miscommunication from the Astralis side, as good as they've played. That actually, I don't think that was going to be well smokes. I think what they wanted was that smoke to plume between the train and the connector, and they would run right through it and try and surprise Virtus.Pro on the other side. Unfortunately, they run out in the open about 3 seconds early, and the smokes haven't even plumed just yet.
Yeah. It's literally just gone off now on the site, and they've already lost 3 players at that point. So, again, miscommunication. It's going to be a factor here. Keep that in mind. These guys are new players coming in. Zonic, I don't even know if he knows all the set smokes. I don't know if he knows the set plan, but we can come back to that point, because Device looking for the wall bang. No success to be had on that one. And a different style, actually. Bialy and Snacks focusing towards Ivy here for Virtus.Pro. Taz, again, selling out on B, and Glaive and Zipnik's really paying some attention here.
Well, it's smart by Astralis, because they know that Taz, being that specialist player, they trust him to be alone at the inner bomb site. They're basically daring Virtus.Pro to leave him there. By making this presence here, they want Virtus.Pro to think that there's going to be bodies attacking Taz at some point. Bring that second player back. And actually, this is very aggressive. Already jumping down. Taz isn't ready for it whatsoever, but oh, what a shot! Can he get more? Taz, that is ridiculous.
He's got it all in front of him as well, but this isn't the commitment. Look where that bomb is. It's not come down with him. They've forced Neo over, Pasha over, and now here comes the play towards A. Snacks is the only man still standing here. They're making a mad dash back, but Zipnik's already takes him down. The site's now open. They're going to make a quick rotate. Device looking towards connector, looking towards stopping anyone pouring out. The bomb is planted. 4v3, retake time now for Virtus.Pro.
And Astralis has to be patient. This is a design play out of the timeout that's so perfect. They attack Taz, force the rotation. Zipnik gets that kill and gets away with 1 HP. There's Neo pushing through, finds Zonic, now with 3-on-3. Kerrigan's still there, Device still far back. Neo's gotta find Kerrigan though. Critical spot for him to hold it. He looks down, Kerrigan can't react in time. 3-on-2 now.
They've still got a smoke. Here we go. The bomb is going to be defused as we speak. Device finds one. Neo comes back. Device on the there. Doesn't matter, the bomb! It was defused by Pasha in the background. And even though Device will take out Pasha in the end, it doesn't matter a single point. It's Virtus.Pro again in such a great position. 11-14 now. Astralis seems so close to closing that one out. They had everything almost working for them, but then Neo on the retake was absolutely sick.
One bullet.
That was nuts.
Get out. That's why he's so effective, but that's a big kill from Neo. Once again, maybe a little bit of that Zonic inexperience getting caught out in the open, but still a plant and all 5 kills for Astralis in that round despite not winning. So a lot of damage to the economy. They're running out of rounds to play with though, and Taz, he gets aggressive, he changes things up. I think that's a team nade that does that damage. A little bit of miscommunication between him and Neo. But he's at least forced Xyp9x and Zonic away from making any progress in those box halls.
That makes this map feel incredibly small for Astralis. No ground gained anywhere else either. Now scared to even step towards brown halls where actually Taz is still present. He's not backed off from this. He's going to stay out maybe in a one and done spot. Maybe he can do more. He still had some support from Neo, so that's still into place. But no one else is able to find much here for Astralis.
The big thing is Taz staying here. The action is so far away that they can rotate in time and they don't even look for an off angle from Taz. It's traded by Zonic. That's nicely done. Now you see Neo. But Device picks off Snacks outside, so it's a 4-on-3 now.
Bialy and Pasha are still in a good spot though. Bialy could catch anyone out if they try and make a bit of a quick dash towards the site. Pasha's going to back away from the molly that was burning. And they are slowly working through, but look, Bialy walks out, gets down too! Bialy, that is incredible stuff. Leaving Device and Karrigan in a real bad spot here. Karrigan finds one. Somehow Pasha didn't hit Karrigan then. That looks so on point, but Bialy, this man is sneaky as you like. And the difference a second can make.
Yeah, but they have to find Pasha. This is such a hard position to flush him out of at the moment. And Device is just waiting, not sure where Bialy went. Karrigan's the one who's wrapping around. This is going to be so difficult. It's all going to come down towards timing, and Karrigan's going to win it. Pasha looks the wrong way. So many chances he had just by a second, and it's Karrigan that takes it. Bialy in a 1-on-2, and the bomb is, I mean, he's in not a good position for this.
Yeah, Device is in a great one as well. Vertical advantage all in his favor, and there it is. Astralis finally get another on the board. It seemed like a lifetime in the making, but they push themselves to that ever-important 15th round. We could be going to a third map here, ladies and gents. And I know we all want to see that, if I'm completely honest. Cash would be up next, but there's still one more to claim here. And considering how long it took just to get that additional one, this is far from over.
Up on Pasha. Snacks, though, this is what I'm talking about. The economy's been ground down. That one win, with all the kills they've had in the recent rounds, with some of the plants. Hey, look at this buy now. There's no nades on Pasha. There's one on Bialy. Snacks is only on a pistol, and even then he's light on utility. So a lot of advantages in the way of Astralis this time for this round. Neo and Snacks playing aggressive towards bomb train and E-box. Bialy in ladder room. Very, very aggressive posture from Virtus.Pro. But they're basically out of nades already. Snacks has one smoke. They've got 2 flashes on Taz. If they don't find something early on, they're gonna have to just outright win duels against a team that is so powerful right now. 2 ops as well.
Oh, this is so scary. It's on a knife's edge. It's 1 minute and 14 seconds to decide how this goes down. As said, they need to be in the right place at the right time, win out those fights. There's so many factors here that Virtus.Pro need to get going for themselves. Astralis still have so much to build into this round with. They can paint this map however they want it to look. But Bialy and Snacks still in a deadly spot. This is all down to where Astralis take this now.
Just waiting. And you can see as well what we've seen out of Virtus.Pro. Actually, Zonic wins that battle against Bialy. That's a huge find. And he doesn't take any damage as well, so Bialy getting a little bit anxious. Actually, no, Zonic being the aggressive one. And there's Snacks as well. Zonic can't get down, but he brings him so low. Nice trade from Snacks. And he also gets away with an M4, which is huge.
And look, Karrigan and Xyp9x are still trying to pressure that point on B. They're keeping Taz Neo very close to it, and that's now the walking point. Snacks has to win this one pretty much. It's Device Glaive walking through towards the site. Snacks is round the back. Pasha's found Xyp9x. It's not done just yet. 3v4 advantage with Virtus.Pro. Snacks towards Karrigan. The bomb's planted, and it's Device and Glaive, the 2 superstars for Astralis, to take this one to the third map right here, right now for them. Can they do it? Device towards Pasha. Glaive gets taken down, and now 1v2 Device. It's your moment to shine. The classic duo up against him. He can't connect towards Neo, but they know where he is. He finds Taz, and oh my word, Device, this could be it. He can't do it in the end. Neo runs it back, no kit to hand. almost defuse in the end.
Incredible round, incredible effort by Device, almost pulling that right back, but Virtus.Pro, again, against all odds, somehow win that round, and Neo's gonna pick up the AWP as well.
What a game we have. 15-12. Device. Huge effort. If only Glaive didn't get caught out. You know, you can go through those kind of, I guess, mental games as to what could have happened there, but still, Device putting in a superhuman effort at this point.
What is it? I mean, this is the strength of Virtus.Pro. If you look at the scores, you would never think the match is this close. No one on Virtus.Pro is over 18 kills. Device has 31, Glaive has 26. If you just look at those scores, you just wonder how Virtus.Pro is even in this. They have really had to claw and grind these rounds out.
And the thing is, the Virtus.Pro's money is still not good. There's a, what, Mag 7 on Pasha? That's not great. Taz having to use a UMP, and he's been kind of the... Oh, no, that's not good either. Neo's one of the big players here. He traded out with Device, actually, in the end. Means that Pasha now gets himself an M4, so that's a big upgrade. But Astralis, you've got to be careful on this approach.
That's actually... Neo's going to love that trade. Take Device out, take the op out of his hands. Zonica might try and recover that. He's only got the Tech 9, but he's got to be careful. Kerrigan is still out towards Ivy. Oh, and Snax wants to punish this. He wants to punish anyone who goes for this, so Astralis, this is danger. Are you going to run the gauntlet or are you going to flash? There it is, but it's going to go too far, and Snax misses the shot.
That does mean that there's an AWP back in hand. It's with Zonic, maybe not someone you'd put into that lineup as someone to do it, and there's the punish from Snax. Looking for the opportunity, he gets it. Down to 3 now, Astralis. And considering Virtus.Pro's start into this round was so far from ideal, this is a great bit of resilience. Bialy gonna have a little bit of an exchange with Carrigan any second now. And it's Bialy to find Carrigan, and now we're down to 2. It's all gonna come down to B. It's gonna be Glaive and Zipnix powering through. Pasha waits so readily for this Taz. The molly comes in, but there we get it. The barbecue begins, and it's the Polish side to come out on top of it. And again, Astralis fumbling towards the end of this game here.
It's that ever important, that ever difficult 16th round. Astralis, they went through it on overpass. They had it up 15-14. Now they've lost 2 straight to this point. They've got to save. They've got to wait 1 more round to be able to win it. So it is, I mean, more than likely going to be 15-14. There's really no purchase. There's no nades. There's no armor. Maybe one upgraded pistol on Device. You can't expect that to win the round for you against a Virtus.Pro that's playing like this at the moment. Snax has really come alive recently.
That's a condemning start here for Astralis, already being manhandled by the Virtus.Pro side. Neo just building up money, adding insult to injury, rubbing salt in the wound. Pasha waits down by Ivy, looking to see if Glaive was willing to walk through the smoke. Not going to be the case. Neo turns around. It's down to Zipnix and Glaive to do anything, and that, with merely Glocks and already damage received, is not looking so likely.
This wouldn't be, I mean, this almost feels like Glaive is just being so passive. They're just saying, they're talking a little bit maybe about the next round, just staying alive and just having a small conversation, because Zipnix as well is just walking all the way back towards T-spawn, so staying away from the action for a little bit longer. But 15-14, now Astralis has to come up with something. And at this point, what do you do?
That's the question you've got to hope they have an answer to. Otherwise, we're into overtime again. And you know what? I wouldn't be too sad about that, Moses. It's been quite an enjoyable ride so far.
This has been incredible that Astralis has been able to do this, considering everything that's been against them. What an amazing performance they've had in these 2 maps.
All right, 15-14. This is the round for Astralis if they want to take it to a 3rd, or will it be going to overtime? This is the moment for them to shine. Bialy going to push himself up, already towards Electric, just down by Pop. Let's see if Astralis go for aggression. How do they take themselves into this round?
Key difference is, you know, Device doesn't have an AWP. They don't, and they're going up against 2. Pasha's got 1, Snax has 1. So there's a lot of opportunities here for Virtus.Pro to find some kills to you know, really thin out the attack here. But there's that Molotov and smoke combo that forces Pasha away, and he actually takes a lot of damage, down to 28. That's really well done from Astralis to get some early damage, and look how passive that makes him. He rotates all the way back, away from everything.
Crowd's starting to understand the magnitude of the situation as Glaive and Device start building their way forward. Pasha's been corralled away towards the old bomb train, but Neo keeps a close eye towards it. Glaive gets destroyed. Neo again towards Device, and it's not over yet. The pain train's about to come into the station as Bialy catches takes out another, and look at this play so far. It has been a masterclass from Virtus.Pro. Can it continue? It's down to Zimnix. We're going to overtime. This game will not end for these boys. Astralis was so close, yet so far.
Virtus.Pro does it again. Somehow claw themselves back into it as well. Being down 4-11, losing the pistol round, so 13-4 before they got a single round on the board. That is incredible. They're able to do this now, and it's the complete opposite. Astralis made the comeback in the first map. Now it's Virtus.Pro. Both of these teams are just monsters at the moment.
And you've got to be thinking Astralis is sweating bullets here. Virtus.Pro given a chance to close it out in two. Guys, do stay tuned. We'll be back with overtime in just a second. It's 15-15 here. We are no strangers to overtime now after the start of that previous map. Now we get to do it all over again.
This is going to be heartbreaking for Astralis if they can't pull this one out. They've had some good ideas on this T-half. They have some very good rounds. It just Virtus.Pro at the end just was winning all these late round situations. It was actually incredible that they're able to pull these things out. I think again, there's another round with the CZ that Taz has that keeps them in this match to begin with, and now they bring it all the way back in overtime. So Astralis, they've got to find some way to do it, and one way they can, which, you know, it happened on Overpass, even though they didn't win it, is actually punish that economy, that 10K start money. Make sure that, you know, if Virtus.Pro is going to buy a double op setup out of the gate, you can punish that just by winning that one round. Then there's so much money depleted from VP.
Plenty of opportunities here for both sides to make the most of it. And the double op will be coming out for the CT side, so as I said, a big investment into this one. Going all in, that can... What? Is that a triple punch?
Triple op, okay. So Virtus.Pro, they're cranking up the pressure. Op on Snacks, op on Pasha, and one on Neo as well. And I mean, maybe this is just to catch them off guard. Maybe they're thinking Astralis will have no idea this is coming, but this is so risky. First round of overtime on the CT side.
Risky is possibly an understatement at this point, but Carrigan might not be expecting Bialy pushed up that far as well. This is all a touch different, a little bit changed up here and there, but not enough to check it out. There you go, Carrigan the first to fall. He gets caught out by Bialy. Pasha now allowed to reign dominant, down by Ivy. And that's not the start you want if you're Astralis to lose out already on a player.
No, because this is a lot of information and map control denied now for Astralis. Pasha can just hold this angle, and he's got to be cautious about it. He doesn't want to be held by an op, but he finds that pick. That's exactly why. Astralis has to find out if someone's pushing Ivy, but Pasha punishes it. So a 5-on-3, and essentially a third of the map is out of the, you know, out of the wheelhouse for Astralis.
And Pasha's not stopping. He's pushing up further. He's constantly chasing these guys. This is unreal. He is right up behind them. He knows that no one's here. He can check main. He can now tell Taz and Neo, pull your socks up by B. This could be a B hit, or it could go to pop. One of the two. Keep your eyes trained on that. That's exactly what's happening. Pasha lurking right around behind them. Neo stabilizes, ready for it. You've got three players about to hit the B side. The flash is starting to come in, and surely Astralis are wondering, why do they already know we're here? How do they know this is happening? But here we go. The first tag comes out. It doesn't land the kill. Zimnix stays alive, but Taz is the man to do it. He's the one to take the kills. That's two back-to-back, leaving Device, who does the double. Taz and Pasha get taken down, and now 1v3. Doesn't have the bomb, and he's not going to get it. The triple AWP pays off. Pasha, Bialy with great dominance over Ivy carry that through to the rest of the map, and they get the first one on the board here in overtime.
They go back to the third op, though. That's the question. Yep, no, they're not going to. So Neo just drops the op over to Pasha. He's more than likely just going to pick up the M4. So they change that. Nope, he goes right back to the op. Just I say that. So why not?
If it works, kind of.
I mean, what really worked that round wasn't the 3 ops. It was Bialy doing some delayed aggression down Ivy and catching Kerrigan completely off guard. Now fast-paced from Astralis, but they've got to run through a Molotov to do it. They use a smoke. Glaive and Kerrigan are out, but there's the first op. Snax gets 1 kill.
I don't know if he meant to him. I think he was looking for Kerrigan, and he finds him regardless. That's 2. Can't get the third to follow up, but now Taz in an excellent position on Overwatch almost here. Bialy's on the long flank around the back through Ivy. He's off on a mission, and everyone else can hold their spots. If they can deny a plant, even better. But Device catches Pasha unawares, and now we're down to a 3v3. This is still up in the air. We've got 1 AWP still in practice, but Taz locates Device. He's now down, leaving Zonic and Zipnix to do it all.
Yeah, Neo's flanking down ladder as well, and he's going to have himself a kill. Bialy grabbed Zonic just before. This is very much reminiscent of the previous overtime. Virtus.Pro looking to go up 18-15 in the first half of OT. Not a great buy is going to come out for Astralis. They don't have a lot of money. Someone's going to have to sacrifice the rifle just to be able to have the nades that they can use for any kind of an execute.
All right, Astralis, what can you get this round? As said, 3 rifles, 4, I guess, with the Galil in there, but Sonic doesn't have armor either, so really not nice coming into this one. Pasha just rocking out with the CZ at the moment. Glaive going for a fast trade out there with Taz. Can't get the better of him, though. And instantly you see the response, everyone pouring over from VP.
Well, it was the opening there for Glaive. A good idea, tries to get aggressive. Knows Taz is usually isolated there all on his own to start with. Has a chance for the kill, but Taz forces him away. Device now over towards Ivy. He's only got a Tech 9. Oh, and that pop flash blinds him completely. Bialy, I don't know if he's checked it though. He hasn't yet. And Device is actually going to win that battle. Pasha, what can you do? Spraying through the smoke again. There's Zipnix with one. Snax finally responds. He's got to do more though. He misses the jump shot, but he's still alive on train.
And there's Taz as well. This is nice from Snax. Catches Glaive, just backing away from Electric. Catches Kerrigan as well. This is a clean half in overtime there for Virtus.Pro. Beautiful performance so far. The triple AWP was questionable, but it came into perfect practice. But can they close it out?
That's good stuff from Snax. Using that train so very well to stay alive, using it as cover, peeking multiple different angles. Even if he misses the shot, goes back for more. Looked like they were about to crumble at any moment, but he's really the one that kept that defense propped up. So 3 straight, 18-15, and now Astralis, exact same scenario they were in on overpasses, overtime.
That's an incredibly harsh moment to be in for Astralis. Kind of being teased with the idea of we could maybe do this. We're getting close. We've got, you know, those rounds starting to come towards us, and then suddenly you're back in overtime again.
A lot of teams playing against Virtus.Pro have had that same kind of tease. This is a team that just doesn't, I mean, especially at these big tournaments, especially at majors, they just don't go down quietly. Snax. He's always been playful with the camera.
It's the eyebrow game's on point.
What a performance out of this guy as well. Device, 36 and 19. Huge individual effort out of him. Glaive is not far behind. Well, I guess he is kind of far behind because 36 is incredible with 26 for Glaive. But he himself, this is a breakout performance for a guy like Glaive.
Yeah, this is it's a beautiful sign for Glaive. If he came in as, you know, being the stand-in, you don't, it's not that you don't expect much from him, you just don't expect him to be the highlight. Oh, poor Fnatic fans. There you go, you got something to cheer about again. This crowd's so easy to appease. Virtus.Pro cheer, Fnatic please. You guys. But no, yeah, it does seem as though the Virtus.Pro fans here, the Polish crowd, there's a little corner actually already dedicated. It's got its own little corner already set up. It was there this morning, bright and early. So again, these guys, once they get to these situations, do often have incredible crowds behind them, but Astralis are no strangers to that feeling of having, you know, the audience supporting them there as well. So again, not really playing into it. There it is. There we go. But no, Virtus.Pro on a massive point now. The thing is, for Astralis to come back into this, as you said, it has to be flawless.
And they can, I mean, they can, that defense they had in the first half was so strong. The issue, once again, comes to the fact that it's been so long since they faced this attack from from Virtus.Pro. Are they going to remember how to do it? Are they going to get caught off by some kind of aggression? We saw this crazy switch up into this triple off setup in overtime for Virtus.Pro. Like, what other switch ups can they have in their playbook that might catch Astralis off guard?
That's a big question. We asked it on CG side, like, oh, we haven't even really seen aggressive kind of pushes coming out. We saw a couple of them in overtime. We saw a couple of them pushing down, from Ivy. We saw that starting to come into the effect. I wonder how deep that Virtus.Pro playbook goes. As you said, this could be quite interesting and very hard for Astralis to deal with. Previously, it was Device having big moments, though, that really did pay off in this half. So again, it's a lot of pressure on his shoulders, but he's a superstar player. He has to play to this caliber, and you can hear it, guys. It is almost time to get that possibly final half of overtime underway.
2 ops for Astralis. Back to it. Kerrigan and Device with those. Pasha's got one of his own on the T side.
Here we go. 15-18. Virtus.Pro need one more to get to the semi-finals. Astralis need it all. They have to fight tooth and nail to stay alive and claw their way, kicking and screaming into those semi-finals. It's going to be a tough task, but they are certainly up to the challenge. They've already shown great resilience. Can they keep it up?
Slow style coming out again for Virtus.Pro. It's going to be the duel between Device and Pasha. Those ops over towards Ivy. Device is being very aggressive with this peak. Pasha's holding the angle as well.
Pasha's Viali there too. There's the bait of the shot. Pasha now takes the swing. He gets it. That's the first step in the right direction. Again, great success for that man already in this map. Looking to do more. Smokes out left, Molly's out right. Looking to really apply that pressure towards Astralis. Keep them guessing, but where's the hit going to come from?
Sick bait by Bialy. Just shoulder peeking that angle, waiting for Device to get the shot out. That allows Pasha to just scoot a little bit farther to the right and get the angle on Device. And that repeat, though, it might have been a little bit too much from Device. Over-aggressive, trying to do too much. That's so punishing. 4 on 5 now, and still Virtus.Pro. They haven't committed, but now they're going to come towards this outer bomb site. Here come the smokes. It's all on this defense.
Zonic, Glaive, Carrigan will be the first in line, but can they stop what's about to come their way? Neo takes a step out. Carrigan greets Neo with a smile, but it's Taz, and it's Taz all day. That's 2. There's Snacks coming in with 1, and it's left Zipnix in a horrible situation. Bialy's already on the hunt, and you can see them looking for it, and the spray comes in. Zipnix knows his days are numbered, but he's still fighting the good fight, but it's at the end. Pasha does it for Virtus.Pro, and ladies and gentlemen, that is VP putting themselves into the semi-finals after a tough match against Astralis, who fought with sheer heart, grit, determination, anything you can think of. They put it up there, but it wasn't enough.
Incredible comeback from Virtus.Pro on this map. One of their best. And the challenge by Astralis was incredible. We didn't know if they'd have it in them, and they proved everyone wrong. Superstar performance by Device. Incredible performance by Glaive, by the whole team really coming together to make this happen. But it's who you'd expect in these final maps. It's the old guys. It's Neo, Taz, Pasha. These are the ones who stepped up and have, in this last map on train and had the huge performances.
Yeah, and it was highlighted at the start. The analysis desk brought up a couple of players to look at, and it certainly was the likes of Taz really providing some great moments. But guys, that's enough from us. Let's hear from the stage with Paul and one of the Virtus.Pro players.
Yes, thank you very much. With Taz, congratulations, Taz. You said yesterday to me, there's a vibe, there's a feeling about the team right now, and you've shown that today with a lot of resilience, because that was 2 tough maps against Astralis.
I think that today we should talk about different team. We should talk about Astralis and how much resilience they showed, playing with 2 stand-ins. I think that we should all clap for them now, guys.
Yeah, it's very sporting of you. Dupree obviously getting better in hospital. It's never a nice way to have a major. I do want to focus on you as well. You seem to be playing out of your skin. What is going on?
I don't know, I just want to win. Really, really want to win.
Just a burning desire.
Yeah.
What about the rest of the guys? Everyone seems to have stepped up all the way through the group stages, and today everyone had their part to play.
I think they also want to win. I mean, it was a very long time since we went to semi-finals in the major, even more time since we were in a final and win one. So we just really, really want to win it bad.
Okay, thank you very much, Taz, ladies and gentlemen. And Virtus.Pro are safely into the semi-final.
Always great to hear from Taz and having a whole lot of respect for Astralis, which we too will kind of reiterate on the desk, I'm sure. But first we have to focus on the success there of Virtus.Pro, securing a semi-final spot. And we just seem to be getting gifted. This is just our first game of the day here in the LANXESS arena, and we already are getting overtimes, we're getting spectacular play. Let's dig deeper into train. Actually, we'll start with you, Janko, because in the pre-match we addressed that Astralis may have some struggles versus the speed of the Virtus Plow, and you've got an example to show us.
Yes, this was actually the first gun round. It started off great for Astralis, winning the pistol round, but VP got the bomb planted. So in the first gun round, we saw them actually go for one of those faster executes that we talked about. So we will see how it plays out here. They get the entry kill on the player in ladder room, and after that, once all of the smokes fall down, you can see Kerrigan playing close to that blue train, but the rest of the Astralis players are not really getting a lot of info at this point. You will see Glaive, who is going back and forth between the outer and inner bomb site, not really sure whether he's supposed to rotate. They didn't see the bomb yet, maybe they think it's a fake. So that's the chaos we've been talking about, and it's really hard when you play with two stand-ins to defend against an execute like that. And it worked for VP early on, but then they switched to a slower default, slower paced play, and that's when Astralis started racking up rounds. That's when we saw Device taking points with the AWP and Glaive as well. So I think that was a slight mistake from them. They didn't realize the situation in time, and it gave a lot of room for Astralis to have a strong CT side.
It did happen again, Duncan. Another strong defensive side from Astralis. Yep. It just seems to be a guarantee despite the two stand-ins.
Well, first of all, they've had a lot of success in this tournament with pistols, even since they got the stand-ins, which actually, funnily enough, against some of the opposition, you'd say, oh, there's some strong players here. That should be one of the harder parts. And because they get these early leads, they do build up these CT sides. But again and again, they're going to look back on this, and unfortunately, they're just going to look at these terrorist sides. And it's the same exact storyline as well. They do the comeback, and for some reason, they only put Device onto these ops later in the halves. You know, they don't start out with that. It feels like it's a desperation move. He goes, right, there's nothing left to do, we do this. But it's been very effective. Like, actually, over this series, he's had a very good performance. He really did have that superstar performance. Glaive gave him a lot of help as well, but I think you can't really ask for much more from Astralis. Like, you can look at some of the things and go, you could have done this better here, but I think to even be in this position where you could have 2-0'd the guys from Virtus.Pro, I think that's more than enough. I think it's a very commendable effort, and the better team won, I think.
Yeah, real credit where it is due. The main discussion point we have had, even way back in the group stage with Astralis, was this Device performance. 36 frags from Device Blue. I mean, that's kind of exactly what the doctor ordered, right? That's a nice way to go out.
Easily commendable, considering he wasn't as prevalent yesterday, and we still saw those performances from yesterday still being present here at this event. They played their hearts out, they tried their best. I even actually like what they did with Zonic on the CT side, because that was a big question as far as where they were going to position him, so as to ensure that when he goes down, eventually it wouldn't have too big of an impact. They tried to play him a little bit more aggressively, putting him with Glaive, who thankfully had an amazing game in himself. So when they did have those pitfalls with Zonic, ended up going down. A lot of times he was in the short lane approach coming outside of the T connector there. You would immediately be able to put Glaive in the position and trade that out, and we saw that strong CT side continuing. Kerrigan as well with the op, specifically on the inner bomb site when he was using it there. Virtus.Pro actually were having some struggles, kind of just walking right into him in numerous rounds. He was given plenty of kills for free in that situation. So Virtus.Pro, moving into the semifinals, they're going to have to watch out for stuff like that, because it was still looking a bit messy on their own T side.
And actually, that's the debate I'd like to have now. We've given our credit to Astralis, overcoming so many odds just to be here, never mind sticking it to Virtus.Pro in 2 overtime maps. What I want to now address is Virtus.Pro, and if we've gathered any weakness, learned anything about this side. The fact that Astralis were so hamstrung and still proceeded to struggle in 2 maps, Duncan, does this make us a little apprehensive in the likelihood of advancing through the semi-final?
It does and it doesn't, because Virtus.Pro does have that quality that the all-time great champions do have, like we saw from Fnatic, obviously, where they can get down, but they can always grind back. Like, it's never in their mind, even when it reaches map point for the opponent, like, the game's over,
sure.
Or like, yeah, I'll try, but like maybe start thinking of the next map, or they really always think it's possible, and part of it is because they don't have to get it from one person. They don't have to like have a Device or a Glaive go crazy. They knew that like Neo can win around late for us, even if he's been doing nothing all game long. So they still have that belief. I think it's well-founded as well. Like, it's not just hope, but I do have to say the big weakness that I'm worried about going forwards is there's the potential of playing SK Gaming in the semi-finals. Yeah. And if they play SK Gaming, they're going to have a much, much stronger T-half. We can't have this kind of like picking it up and having to win miracle CT rounds. They're going to have to do a lot of it on T-side there, because we know how fantastic SK Gaming is on both sides of the map.
And we'll be talking about that more if that does come about. Virtus.Pro securing that semi-final spot. I think it's always interesting to talk about Virtus.Pro the fact that they get driven by the crowd. You know, in the interviews, in the casting, we're always sitting there like, and there is, for some reason, I don't know what they do, they just besot the crowd instantly, and there's just so much cheering, so much noise, to the point where they're even booing their opponents.
I think it's like a feedback loop, though, because the thing is, the reason the crowd gets so hyped, and in every country there's so many fans of Virtus.Pro, is because they have such an exciting style of play, you know, and so it's so compelling that it makes people get more pumped up, and then they want to make the crowd go, and then the crowd's feeding into them. So I think it's just like a feedback loop that goes on, and it still works to this day.
And Janko, is that something that, you know, we can, as analysts, sit here and genuinely say drives Virtus.Pro, helps Virtus.Pro? Because, I mean, you know, we're realists, we think logically. Is there really something to be said about the crowd, the fans, this stage environment and experience?
I think you definitely feed off of it. As a player, you shouldn't really get too carried away. Sometimes you have the Superman effect, right? Because of the crowd, you make a great move. You hear in the back of your head, you know, the cheering and everything, and then you maybe think you can do anything, which is not really the case. But in the case of VP, of course, different teams have different characters and personalities. But for them, yeah, for sure, I feel they feed off the crowd big time.
Thanks very much, gentlemen. We'll be talking more about our next game. This is just our first quarterfinal done and dusted. Virtus.Pro advanced to the semi-finals, and Astralis, well, got a round of applause from the crowd for getting there and also putting a real good fighting effort versus the Polish side. Our next game does feature defending world champions from the previous major over in Columbus. We get to see SK versus Flipside, and it is going to be a spectacular affair. You better stay tuned because it is coming straight after the break, and what's coming up pre-break is the Score Esports application. You know the drill by now. Grab it on your smartphone. It enables you to keep track of how we got to this point in time. We show you the fancy videos. We tell you exactly the scores, the stats, but you can find it all for yourself on this smartphone device. So you grab it, and we're going to take a break. When we come back, though, SK versus Flipside. It's going to be a test for Flipside, but they've already blown our minds with a victory versus the Ninjas in pajamas. We'll be talking more after the break.